I really hope to get Bitcoin cheaper, but right now it looks like Bitcoin is breaking down from the stablecoin dominance, which is something we have not really expected. At least we did saw this as the lower probability scenario, but it looks like that Bitcoin right now is definitely breaking down, and with that, of course, we can see Bitcoin breaking up in the price. I do still want to share a couple of things in today's video. I won't make today's video that long, guys. I'm just gonna go give you a quick update with everything that's happening. But what we are basically seeing is that stablecoin dominance is breaking down right here. We see the USDC dominance breaking down from the middle of the channel. The interesting thing is that the US dollar Tether dominance right now is touching the support. So here there's still a possibility of a bounce. The funding rates are going up. So that means that all the open interest that we are seeing, the increase, are people that are longing Bitcoin. So we can check that over on Will Portal. Let's go to the 8 hour. We select indicator. We click on funding rate. We click on open interest right here. We can see the open interest is going up while funding goes up. That basically means that a lot of people are aping into longs right now. You can even make this into a line so you can see more clearer that the funding rates are going up with the interest rate with the open interest, which just basically means a lot of people are longing this move in Bitcoin. And that is something I want to mention in today's video. Although stablecoin dominance is breaking down and Bitcoin is breaking up, we have to see this as a very, very bullish sign, because this is so far a break of structure of this chart. But we have to remain alert right here. So if Bitcoin moves sideways and loses this blue line again, that is the 78.60%, that is 30,200 roughly. The moment we are losing that level again, that can be a big warning signal. The moment we are losing this level again. But as long as we are holding above this level, maybe this level is even acting as support, then the chances of this being a retracement from this move to the downside is significantly decreasing. And I'm going to reconsider, I won't do it today, but I'm definitely going to reconsider adding to my Bitcoin position, to at least to my HODL position, what I said. So I've taken profits on my HODL position right here during this drop. We've entered right here exactly at the low, so that was a nice trade. Of course, if we would just would let everything in Bitcoin, we would have been better off right now. That is true. So yeah, guys, I have to admit in that case that I was wrong, but still I would do the same thing if it would happen again. Because if Bitcoin did came down, I would miss a huge opportunity. I would have my portfolio still going lower, right? So with that risk management, I took partly profits right here, like 50% of the HODL portfolio, which I might have to reallocate right here at a worse price. But it's completely fine with that, because I made that decision right here, and it's just how things go. Right now we have more confirmation that Bitcoin is looking more bullish with this breakdown in the stablecoin dominance. Just to be very clear, we don't want this to be something like this now, right? Where we just break down and come back into this channel. So that is just something I want to watch, because Bitcoin is going into the month of November. November normally is not the most bullish month. We are seeing the funding rates going up. A lot of people aping into longs right now. So it's not really from a derivatives data standpoint or perspective, it's not really the ultimate time to open long positions. But yeah, on the other hand, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and in a bull market, it is sometimes going really, really crazy. However, for me, I personally like to buy Bitcoin at moments when there is panic. So, for example, right here, or when we have seen panic right here, when everyone is a little bit capitulating. These are often moments that I feel more comfortable in deploying capital in the market. So right here, just at a resistance level, it's still going to be sketchy, even though the stablecoin dominance is breaking out. But yeah, if we do get some couple of consecutive days closures below this white line, and we cannot really like break back into it, so we have a very clear change in structure, which we actually already have right now, then yeah, definitely planning to reallocate more in Bitcoin. Guys, another thing I want to share with you is the S&P 500. S&P 500 got Friday a daily close below the 200-day moving average, as you can see right here. That doesn't very often happen. And Alessio Rostani, my other fellow YouTuber, he says that the stocks are right now in a bear market, and that is possible. But what we often see, if we look at historical times, whenever we close below the 200-day moving average, often in the shorter term time frame, as you can see right here, close below, bounce. Close below, bounce. But then eventually we go lower. But often when we close below, we first get a bounce. So I would expect that today is a day where we could get a bounce. If, like, for example, right here, close below, bounce, but then eventually we break back below. So breaking below the 200-day, guys, doesn't necessarily have to mean that the S&P 500 is going to massively drop today. However, I do going to watch this chart, because we might see panic across the board, because this is definitely different than lots of people expected. A lot of people expected that this was the bottom, and that right now we were just going into a new uptrend, going to new all-time highs. I would say the majority of the people were expecting that. But we didn't do that. So we just had a small bounce right here. We couldn't even fill up that gap. And right now this chart is coming down, breaking below the 200-day moving average. So definitely something to watch. This will be, in my opinion, the most important and most interesting chart that we will see today. Then guys, two more charts I want to show. I want to start off with the yield curve, which was inverted, but right now is going back to green levels. And as you can see in previous times, let me put my camera right here. We can see that the moment we are seeing that inversion of the yield curve getting back to green, often comes along with bigger drops in the S&P 500. So when we have a look at this chart, it doesn't look that bullish, right? And I would still argue that although Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength, this could have an impact on Bitcoin too. Like I said, I still think Bitcoin shows a lot of strength. I think the stablecoin dominance is looking very bullish, very positive for Bitcoin. But still, guys, I would definitely be very alert what's coming up in the next coming days. We want to see some follow through in the US dollar Tether market dominance. Want to see this one breaking down as well. That would be great. Then when we have a look at the liquidity heat map, guys, then we can see that most liquidity, and that's also another point I want to make, most liquidity is below us. So we had a lot of liquidations with that massive spike on that fake Bitcoin ETF news, right? Afterwards, Bitcoin is just trending up right here. But all the liquidity, or most liquidity right now, is definitely below us. And we can go a little bit through the short-term time frames. So we have some liquidity at 31,000. So that is still a possibility that we're going to visit 31 or maybe even 32,000. Because that is also the top of the range right here. So I gotta move my camera a little bit. So the top of the range right here is 31,360. Right, so we could potentially still reach the top of the range. We are right now reaching the top of the first move right here, which was at 30,800 roughly. But as you can see, also in the short-term time frame, most liquidity is below us, going until 29,600. Then if we change the time frame right here, then we can also see that the majority of the liquidity is below us, and that also makes sense because we have seen the funding rates going up, which means more and more people are opening long positions, which means that their liquidation will be somewhere below, right? So that is what we can see on this chart, which means that there's the liquidity. So I would expect that sooner or later Bitcoin will come down to reach these levels to meet that liquidity. I would say that chance is actually pretty high. We also have some CME futures gaps, so this is also something we could wait for, right? We could wait for Bitcoin to come down grab some liquidity in November, and when these stablecoin dominance charts remain intact, so they remain to have a bearish breakout right here, then it remains a good moment to buy Bitcoin. But at least we don't ape in at a potential top, or like at the top of the range, right, with positive funding and everything, but we just wait until we get a little bit better entry, which we can see in that liquidation heat map, because there is a lot of liquidity below us, and it would really make sense looking at CME gaps, because there's also CME gap at 26,200, as you can see right there, 26,400. So yeah, sooner or later I would expect this to come down. Guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure to drop a thumbs up button. Very much appreciated. And yeah, I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today. And I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.